Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Year of the Batman. Today's BTAS episode is Cat Scratch Fever, so you probably guess right off the rip. It is, in fact, a Catwoman episode. So it starts off Selena Kyle, she's having her trial, and the judge, who I might add, sorry, I got an itch. I gotta say, how she is drawn, it just I don't know. It reminds me of how Akira Yama drew black people back in the day, in OG Dragon Ball. Like she just looks like a caricature, and it's really weird because Lucius makes an appearance later in the episode. Lucius Fox, and he's drawn just like a regular black man. Um, but I don't know why the judge she just looks off to me. It's very off-putting. Just very. It's hard to explain. Just I was like, ugh, you know. But there is a lot of weird animation moments in this episode where I'm just like, that looks a little off, or maybe this lip sync wasn't too right. I don't know. This episode didn't really look good to me personally. So anyway, the trial's going on, and the judge is like, "Hey, since you pretty much saved Gotham and possibly the world from a plague that a terrorist organization was going to take care of," which, let's be honest, she didn't really have much to do with that. That was like mostly Batman. But she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 years probation. Just don't be Catwoman again." So pretty good stuff. So she gets home, and Maven does make an appearance. Her like assistant from the last one. I just don't really remember her that much. Probably because she has like no impact in the story. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I know your cat means a lot to you, but it kind of got out like a couple days ago, so sorry about that." And Catwoman, she's like, "Okay, fine, fuck it. I guess I'm going out." So she, as Selena, she's not Catwoman yet. She is going out, asking everybody around. Currently, well, Batman is stalking her, and I'm just like, Batman, I get that you're a little suspicious of Selena. We've been following her probably a couple hours now, and she's just looking for a cat. Maybe go see if somebody's getting mugged or kidnapped or something like that. It's Gotham City. There is an abundance of criminals and whatnot. I feel like you have some more important things to do. So Catwoman, she runs into two stray cats and she's feeding them, just because she's Catwoman, she likes cats. And then a truck pulls up, and it's these people that are trying to abduct the strays. And Catwoman, she tries to fight them off, and she fights them off pretty well. But then the thugs get like the upper hand, and Batman comes in, and he stops the thugs, and the police show up, and Batman immediately just fucking goes. He's just like, "All right, bye," and it's so infuriating because the police are there, and they're like, "What happened here?" And the thugs that were trying to take the stray cats were like, "We're just collecting stray cats to give them to better homes. She just beat us up." And so Catwoman gets arrested, and I'm just like, Batman, why the fuck did you run? Like, you are Batman, you can. I've seen you in this show interact with cops. Uh, I've seen you interact with SWAT men who are all heavily armed. Like, why are you letting Catwoman like just stay out to dry? So I don't know why Batman couldn't have vouched for her. Um, but yeah, like so she gets arrested, and then Selena's bail is posted by Bruce, or he springs her bail, and Bruce is like, "Hey, how's it going?" She's like, "Hey, listen, Bruce, I don't want to. We're not doing it. Me and Batman might do it, but we're not doing it." And he's like, "Well, kind of Batman, but whatever." Um, so Selena, she then dons the Catwoman attire to check out what's going on, because the van that this is also really stupid. The van with the thugs that was trying to take the cats and whatnot had the like Daggett Industries on it, and I'm just like, Daggett, you know you're up to no good. Don't plaster your fucking name on the car. Because what he's doing, he's abducting all these strays in Gotham, which he says there's about, or they say there's about 300,000 strays, which is just phenomenal. Like, I don't really know statistics. I don't know if, like, if you compare it to somewhere like New York City, if that's comparable, but like 300,000, they say there's about 10 million people that live in Gotham City, so that's just holy cow. So he wants to have, he's trying to introduce a virus into a bunch of these stray animals, and his company is going to produce the vaccine. And I'm just like, dang it, why are you going to release like 100 stray animals, like, and it turns them like completely rabid? Like that's like the disease or whatever. It's pretty much rabies, because they are just like these killing machines. And Isis just so happens to be one of the animals that was taken in there. Isis, Catwoman's cat. So Catwoman shows up, she sees Isis, and Isis already been drugged up. She like freaks out and then scratches Catwoman. Then some more thugs show up, and they're like, "Oh crap, it's Catwoman! Let's get her." And then Catwoman, she sees these like, um, it's just a random table of chemicals and whatnot. Oh, excuse me. Oh, oh. Mm. Sorry, I'm bored. This is a very boring episode. I'm not gonna lie. So she sees like a whole table's worth of chemicals and whatnot, and then she like gets her whip, and then she pulls it to the ground, and like out pops smoke, and she uses that smoke screen to escape. And I'm just thinking, how funny would it have been if she just like knocked the chemicals over, and then there was like barely any reaction, and then the thugs are just like, I don't know. I feel like that'd be hilarious. But so she gets out because of the smoke screen, and some thugs are about to chase her. And one of the main thugs is like, "No, no, um, she got scratched. She's already a dead woman." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, what if like it might be a long shot, but what if on the way out she happens to run into a police officer, and then she could just finger you guys for that, you know? Which pretty much is just what happens, because as soon as she gets out of the building, she runs into Batman. And Batman's like, "Holy cow, Selena, you're burning up. We gotta get you to the hospital right away." And she's like, "No, Daggett will have me arrested." And I'm just like, "No, Selena, you are proof that you have been drugged." And once again, Batman can be a fucking character witness. So she convinces him to take him, or to take her to an old hideout. And then Batman, he goes back to see what's going on there. And it's just like so annoying, because he doesn't know that there is an antidote there. There is, but he doesn't know that, and Selena doesn't know that. So I'm just like, Batman, what the fuck's your plan here? So he does happen to stumble upon the cure, and he hears Daggett's plan, where he wants to release all the strays with the diseases back into the city to create a plague, to so he could sell the cure. And I don't know. It's a okay, yeah. I'm bored out of my mind this episode. It's not that entertaining. So, Batman, he escapes because he's on his way out, and it's they release a single dog to go after Batman, and this part is super annoying. So he's fighting the dog. He uses his cape as like a little cover to completely intertwine the beast, and he starts running from him, and the beast is hot on his trail. Like, they both hopped over this like 7+ foot tall fence, and Batman's running and running and running, and the beast is running after him till they finally get to a frozen lake, which just on the other side um, is the hideout with Catwoman. And the dog catches up to Batman, and he tackles him, and then Batman, he sprays him with like the antidote. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, Batman, why the fuck were you running from this thing the whole time if you had the antidote on you? And it's just like, Batman, you had the dog in your cape for a moment. You could have just like opened up the cape a little bit and like, I don't know. There's a lot of dumbass mistakes in this episode. So anyway, two of the thugs catch up to Batman and the dog. Um, the lady shoots the ice underneath Batman, and Batman and the dog fall through the ice. The dog gets out just a okay, and then Batman, he doesn't come up yet because he goes underneath the lady and the one guy, and then pulls them both straight down into the ice. And I'm like, Batman, your suit might protect you from all the cold and whatnot, but you just gave those two people hypothermia. Because keep in mind, it's like really really snowy. Like the ice is probably like this thick. Like they're gonna get fucking hypothermia. I'm like, Batman, you killed two people probably. Um, so Batman, he goes to Selena, gives her the antidote. I guess like everybody's cured and whatnot at the place except for Isis because she did escape. So Catwoman, she's back into her apartment. She dismisses Maven for the night, and she's super worried about her cat. And then out from like a picnic basket comes to her apartment with Isis in it, which turns out to be Batman, and he had a cured Isis for Catwoman, which is a nice moment. But it's just like, Batman, I get that you're the world's greatest detective, but you're telling me you found a stray cat in a city of 10 billion people, and how they said 300 plus stray animals. Get the fuck out of here, Batman. I get you are the greatest detective. Yeah, I get that. But holy shit, you did not find that specific cat that quick. Oh, it's just, I don't know. I mean, there's suspension of disbelief and there's bullshit. And that was bullshit. So, anyway, that's the episode. I don't know. I have never really been a Catwoman fan myself. Don't get me wrong. Would do terrible things to Catwoman Julie Newmar. Oh my word. But I, I just don't like Catwoman really. And in this episode, there's a lot of poorly animated moments, a lot of poor lip sync moments. The plot is just stupid. A lot of decisions Batman makes is stupid. And the bad guy, him having his name plastered on the vans is stupid. Like at the very like he knows what he's doing is wrong. They could have just posed as like dog and cat catchers, and Selena probably wouldn't have batted an eye. But I don't know. Just so rating wise, 1 from 7. Probably a 2. Excuse me. Yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea. Yeah,